Hi, my name is Pierre Fergon, and today we're going to take a look at how to remove the glass from a Velvac 2025 or 2030. This is going to come in really handy if you're experiencing vibration in your mirror as you're driving. The likely cause is some loose screws behind the glass that we'll be removing, and you'll be able to tighten up these screws, put the glass back in. So this is the mirror we're going to be looking at. So the things that you're going to need to remove the glass is a paint scraper, a really soft one that's really small and flexible. Actually, two might be useful. General procedure to remove these is that there's a clip that's right here at the bottom that we're going to need to take out, and I'll show you how to do that. And then there's adhesive in the four corners of the mirror. We're going to have to go and unstick the mirror from the adhesive from under the glass. So we'll have to be very careful with that, and we'll see how that goes. But first we'll start looking at how to remove the clip underneath there. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're going to pull the mirror out so we get access to as much as we can from underneath here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove that clip that's down here. And the way we're going to do this is, if you look here, right there, you see where the two slots for the clip is. So we're going to put the flat screwdriver in there, and we're just going to push it to unhook that clip. Alright, so this is our clip. It just came out of here, right down here. So it could be a little tricky to pull out. So to remove this clip, basically what we're doing is we're taking the screwdriver and we're pushing at the base right here to flex this thing open so it comes out. And that's how we get that thing out. Alright, so next what we'll do is we need to remove the glass from the back plate. And before we start this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go run the mirror heater for about 5 minutes just to put some heat in there. Hopefully it will loosen up the adhesive, make the work a little bit faster. So as I just mentioned, these mirrors have heater connectors, and these are located right here. So we need to be careful not to touch them as we're going through this process. So I'll go run the mirror heaters and then we'll start with the process. Okay, so what I've done is I ran the heat, and then I slid these guys right here on both sides, and now you see the base of the mirror is pretty loose. So I'm just going to try to wiggle it and just sideways up and down, not pull on it too much because I don't want to break the glass, and hopefully this thing comes loose. Alright, so I wiggle the glass very gently, very carefully. Now the glass is out. So what we're going to do next is we're going to disconnect the heating elements here, and I'm going to tape them so we don't lose them. Alright, so now the elements are taped, or the wires are taped. So we're going to remember which connector goes where. So here we see the red one is the closest to us, so we'll make sure to reconnect them the same way. Alright, so now we have our piece of glass. It's been removed. One thing you have to remember, be very careful about when you're removing the wires, is put your thumb here to hold that connector down, because if you don't, it will rip right out. So you don't want to do that. So just be very, very gentle. Hold this down very firmly, and then just pull the connector out very slowly, very gingerly. Alright, so once the glass is removed, if you look inside here, you're going to see 3 screws that need to be tightened. There's one screw over here, one screw over here, then one screw in the back up here. And you'll see when you start to unscrew them, they're going to be very easy to remove. and be very loose. So just take them out and apply the blue Loctite. When you look at these little screws that came out, we're gonna take a little bit of that blue Loctite. I'm gonna apply a few drops on the threads, and what that will do is it will bond the screw to its socket, preventing it from loosening. Put him back in. And then once you're done with that, once the screws are nice and tight, now what we're going to do is we're going to do the reverse process and put everything back together. So we got the mirror back on. Make sure you press very firmly where the adhesive cord, so it gives a chance to adhesive to hold that mirror again, and you should be all set. And this is the other side mirror, did exactly the same thing. So if you notice, I inserted that clip there, just started inserting it just to make life easier when it comes time to put the glass back on.